Damn you, Sutic! In the name of life itself!
I love a finale. It is the Doctor coming up against one of the greatest enemies he'll ever face in his life.
The whole universe has died, and it's scary.
She was so awful.
It's huge, it's exciting, it's the biggest thing we've mounted so far, and it's properly thrilling. So I wanted to deliberately bring back a very ancient enemy, last seen in 1975 in an astonishing story called Pyramids of Mars.
What was all that Egyptian stuff?
Cultural appropriation.
Sutic actually wasn't a god of death in the past. He was an Assyrian. He was from the planet Osiris, those 50 years in the time vortex, and the arrival into the universe of the pantheon of gods has kind of evolved Sutic to become the head of that pantheon.
We had a discussion of what we wanted to maintain from the original design and what we wanted to reinvent. We wanted to replicate the sort of original aesthetic, not just Sutic's silhouette, but his costume and his raiments and that kind of a thing, but not have him particularly sit in any sort of culture or specific time period, just that he looked ancient, malevolent, and evil. We had a discussion of how far we wanted to go down the creature route. We would take a look at the original Russell sketches, and then we'd start to detail it and come up with variations. Once we approximate a shape and a motif for the character, then that gets generated as key art to allow us to see what this creature would finally look like on screen. When it comes to a full CG character and we're trying to realize it, we start taking a look at how we're going to execute this idea in 3D space. One of the tools that I will use is a VR headset. But it's a wonderful way of sketching out an idea and getting a sense of how Sutic as a CG creature would fit in the unit ops space. We'll then kind of take it further and we'll develop a fully realized piece of key art so we have a better understanding of what that creature is going to be like when he's confronting the Doctor.
It's an evolution of Sutic, one of the oldest and greatest enemies that the Doctor has ever faced.
Submit to the will of Sutic.
Good morning,
Good morning. I have to put my prosthetics on today. It's a big day today. Bismillah. Good morning, everybody. It was terrific to put on because there I was suddenly being completely different and quite horrific, and surprisingly I quite liked it. I'm quite pleased that this bit's coming off my nose.
Yeah.
It's quite like,
Ooh, reviving, isn't it?
good morning. I'm like a cat with my little pink nose sticking out.
It's really cute.
It involves an awful lot, so many different skills, so much knowledge. It has changed an awful lot since I was first on Doctor Who. It was all a little bit sort of sticky back plastic and with a wing and a prayer. I was trying to explain it to Ncuti and Millie yesterday. Ncuti and Millie are brilliant and they've just welcomed me so openly. It's just great to have that joy. This is why you should take your vitamins. Never looked better. Well, that's my morning. It's a little bit different. See you on set. We were shooting in City Hall. It's a place where people go to get married. There were these people, bless their hearts, all dressed up with their fascinators and their smart clothes on. And there's this mad, crazy lady looking like she's got half a skull head.
It's kind of like a wet look. A wet hair look, which is super fashion. Bonnie disappeared and it was just a soldier of Sutic, which was terrifying. My little Bonnie became like a skull with fashion hair.
She died. She died. Ruby, I'm sorry. I loved you, Mel.
The Doctor has so much love for Mel. She's seen him in many an iteration. So for him now to see her in this iteration was like heartbreaking.
Give.
Sutic. The name.
And she killed that performance. Her voice, her physicality, and everything she was doing was just so... It was like Bonnie's possessed.
She was so awful. The whole look is just so extreme. It's fabulous.
Throughout this series, it's been littered with Russell T Davies moments of genius, but up there has to be the Remembered TARDIS. What an incredible idea.
What is it?
It's a remember TARDIS.
The time window jammed memories of the TARDIS together. It actually then becomes a time machine because it's so powerful.
It's just this tiny, tiny little space with everything from every TARDIS that's ever been. Like, how cool.
In the same way, over years, you might tell the same story, and as you remember it, you sort of remember details differently. That's how it's been put together.
Bits and pieces of every TARDIS that ever was, held together by hopes and wishes and luck.
When I saw Colin, Sixth Doctor's coat, it was really quite emotional. I didn't expect to feel that way.
It's just such a beautiful set, and it had loads of little Easter eggs from other Doctors. Everyone was deciding which one should we steal.
You could press pause at any moment and there'll be something in there for you.
Old sonic screwdrivers, old props.
Amy Pond had her suitcase.
There was a pair of red heels. It's my wife's heels that I've stolen.
We've built a version of Tom Baker's console upside down as a ceiling piece.
The mini jukebox was so cute. That I might steal.
As beautiful and special as it was, the reality of shooting in it was an absolute nightmare. It is tiny. I wanted to get the camera off the tripods and off the dollies and the cranes and get it onto our shoulders and actually get in there with the actors as well.
We're on fire! Is this thing safe?
Absolute death trap.
I wanted that claustrophobic feel. It's all about trying to make the audience feel that they're in those spaces, and I think hopefully we managed to achieve that.
It's been a real joy, and it's been built with absolute love, that thing. A love of Doctor Who.
Lots of the guys in the department are really passionate about Doctor Who. With them, they bring a huge amount of knowledge and enthusiasm.
It's got this longevity, it's got this history, and let's celebrate that and make that part of its foundations, and that makes it special.
So we've got a really exciting stunt scene. There's going to be a blue beam that shoots out from inside the TARDIS, and the TARDIS will fly all the way up the ramp here, knock out the two enemies walking up the aisle. We've got two amazing stunt doubles that are doing this great stunt.
We've got two girls being hit by the TARDIS, and in the script it references Skittles, so that's why we've got that effect going on. It's pretty tight, the space, so we have to be really sort of spot on where she lands, because there's all sharp edges and things like that.
And the stunt guys go really high up into the air, and it's a bit of a fall as well, so we have to have everything specifically planned, and we're only going to get a few goes at it.
Bonnie and I were saying you could do this stuff.
I want to do it! You won't let me do it! I'm not Tom Cruise!
3, 2, 1, action!
Well, now the Doctor voyages forward, and guess what always happens to the Doctor every so often? Christmas. Here comes Christmas.
Into the vortex.
I can't give away much more, but work has begun on it already, and it's mad. It's one of the maddest Christmas specials we've ever seen. It's epic. It goes to so many different places, and it's a great story of who the Doctor is when he's alone.